In May 2017, a single piece of software hit 230,000 computers across 150 countries. It achieved this global scale in less than 24 hours. The impact moved quickly from digital to physical. Hospitals in the UK went dark, forcing doctors to turn patients away from emergency rooms and cancel critical surgeries, while logistics giants like FedEx saw their entire networks freeze. That single attack resulted in roughly $4 to $8 billion in damages. Yet despite that level of devastation, WannaCry is only one of 20 distinct types of malware circulating today. Understanding how these weapons function requires looking past the headlines and examining the very bottom of the threat ladder. We begin with Tier 1, the nuisance class. This is software like adware, which hijacks your browser to serve pop-ups. It usually finds its way onto a system by being quietly bundled inside free software downloads. A virus hoax relies on social engineering rather than actual malicious code. These flashing pop-ups claim your system is infected, attempting to panic you into calling a fake tech support number or granting an attacker remote access. Malvertising is more technically complex. An attacker places an infected banner ad on a completely legitimate website. Through a process called a drive-by download, simply loading the page executes a script that installs malware on your machine without a single click. While Tier 1 threats are mostly annoying, their presence confirms that your system's security perimeter has already been bypassed, leaving you vulnerable to much more dangerous tools. Tier 2 shifts the attacker's objective to the silent extraction of your identity, your credentials, and your money. This includes traditional viruses, which require a user to execute an infected file, and worms, which automatically hunt out network vulnerabilities to copy themselves from machine to machine with zero human interaction. Trojans utilize deception to gain access. By disguising malicious code as a cracked game or a fake software update, attackers trick users into executing the file, granting the malware a persistent foothold on the system. Once inside, attackers deploy surveillance tools. Keyloggers record every single keystroke to capture passwords and card numbers, while spyware monitors your screen activity, private files, and physical location. This is a standard point-of-sale terminal. During a transaction, your card data lives in the system's RAM for a fraction of a second. RAM scrappers are designed to wait for that exact moment when the data is unencrypted in memory to steal it. Other Tier 2 variants include cryptojackers, which hijack your hardware's processing power to mine cryptocurrency, and logic bombs, dormant code planted by insiders that triggers only when specific conditions are met. Tier 2 malware quietly siphons value out of a system. The next tier, however, is built for total extortion and control. In Tier 3, attackers move out of the shadows to execute total system domination. Ransomware works by encrypting your entire database and demanding cryptocurrency to restore access. In 2021, the Colonial Pipeline attack used this method to shut down the fuel supply for the U.S. East Coast for 6 days. Remote access Trojans, or RATs, grant an attacker invisible control over your machine. They can watch your screen, activate your microphone, and use your webcam without ever triggering the indicator light. These CD cases represent a 2005 scandal where a major music label distributed rootkits to millions of customers. A rootkit buries itself in the kernel, the deepest layer of the operating system. This makes it functionally invisible to traditional antivirus software, which operates on the layers above it. Backdoors are used to bypass all authentication. In 2020, attackers compromised the SolarWinds software update process to push a backdoor to 18,000 organizations, including the U.S. Treasury and NATO. When an attacker achieves this level of control, your security software cannot save you because the operating system it relies on has been compromised. At the top of the ladder are tools designed to evade detection entirely. Fileless malware executes within the system's RAM, leaving no file footprint on the hard drive for traditional scanners to find. Attackers pool these infected machines into massive botnets. These zombie armies are then rented out on darknet forums to execute massive denial-of-service attacks that can take entire sections of the internet offline. This refinery represents Saudi Aramco, the victim of a wiper attack in 2012. Wipers are nation-state cyber weapons designed for destruction, permanently erasing files and disabling infrastructure without any motive for profit. These advanced weapons often arrive through mundane channels, like a malicious macro hidden inside a fake invoice or an HR document that downloads the destructive payload in the background. Despite the complexity of these digital weapons, they all rely on one simple vulnerability to function. Every single attack, regardless of its tier, relies on an unpatched or overlooked entry point. WannaCry succeeded because victims hadn't installed an update released months earlier. The Colonial pipeline fell to a single compromised VPN password. You secure these points by following 4 rules. Update your operating system immediately. Avoid unexpected attachments. Use a password manager. And enable 2-factor authentication on every account. While malicious software will continue to evolve, the primary entry points into our systems have remained remarkably consistent. Securing these basic vulnerabilities renders even the most advanced digital weapons ineffective.